students, welcome to the English session again. In the previous class, we learned how to make an entry in a diary. Now today, we are going to pick up another interesting topic of writing section, that is story expansion. Doesn't a smile come on your face when we talk about a story? Why? Because we all have grown up listening to the stories, either from our parents or from our grandparents. Now today, in this session, we are going to learn how to make a story or how to develop a story using the outlines that are given to you. Right? So before learning how to expand a story using the outlines given, we need to understand what exactly a story is. In simple words, if I ask you, what is a story? In a very simple, basic language, if I ask you what a story means. So simply you can say that a story is generally an incident, or you can say a story narrates an incident which is real or imaginary, right? So a story can either be imaginary or it can be a real one only, right? So a story is an incident which is real or imaginary. So let us learn how to make or how to develop a story using the outlines that are given to you. Okay, now how will you expand those outlines? You will expand those outlines using your own ideas and adding your own details, right? So there are some points that you need to remember while expanding the outlines given. So let us have a look at that. The first point says, clearly understand the given outlines and think of details you will fill in. Now the first thing that you need to do is you need to understand the outlines that are given to you, and you need to think upon the details that you will use to connect one outline with the other, right? Then second point says, no point in the outline should be omitted. You cannot miss any of the points in the outline, or you cannot omit any of the outline that is given to you in the question, right? Then third point says, introduce details wherever required. Now children, outline does not mean you need to fill in that gap, right? Or it does not mean that you will only add a word or a two. You have to insert proper details wherever it is required. In order to connect two outlines, you need to give at least 2 to 3 sentences to connect those outlines. Then only your story will be developed in an interesting manner, right? Now let us move on to the fourth point. It says all details should be well connected. Now the details that you are adding to develop your story, they should be well connected in a proper sequence. Then the next point says, make use of dialogues if required. It gives a dramatic touch to your story. Now what do you mean by a dialogue? The conversation between your characters. Okay, suppose there are two characters and they are talking to each other. So you can write the conversation. Okay, few dialogues you can put in your story, so your story looks more dramatic. It gives a dramatic touch to your story, right? And remember that the dialogues always need to be in inverted commas. Okay. Then 6th point says, be careful about the tense. Now children, generally when we write a story, the story is written in simple past tense. Okay, so if those outlines are given in present, you need to develop those outlines into past tense for making your story, right? Then last point says, give a clear conclusion. Now after you have written your story, you need to tie all the loose ends of the story and prepare a proper conclusion so that your story looks complete. Without a proper conclusion, the story seems to be incomplete. So there needs to be a proper conclusion in the end. Conclusion means the end of the story, right? Also children, you can add moral to your story. The title of the story is must. You need to give title. You need to give moral in the end, title in the beginning and moral in the end. If not the moral, then at least you need to put the title. And the moral, if you are not mentioning the moral in the end, then the moral should be very much clear from your story itself, right? So this is how we expand our story, right? So this is called story expansion. It means developing the story based on the outlines that are given to us, right? So children, now in your books on page number 74, there is an exercise given, story expansion 1. It says, write the story expanding it with the help of the following outlines and give a suitable title to it. Now the outlines that are given here are: a man had a hen, laid a gold egg every day, collected gold eggs, got impatient, wanted to become rich overnight, killed the hen, found no egg, and then you need to state the moral. Now, this is the story that you have been reading since childhood, isn't it? The hen who laid the golden egg. So, you need to add your own points, your own ideas, your own creativity to develop your story, right? So, we begin with the first line. We can add even the characters to our story, right? The characters can be the imaginary names. Okay, we can add the names of the places also. So it goes like this. Once upon a time, a man named Ramu lived in the village of Palampur. He was very poor. He had a large family. One day, someone gave him a magical hen. It laid a gold egg every day. He collected the gold egg daily and sold in the market to earn money. Soon he became rich. Right. Now, children, you see, I have also given the title to my story, The Greedy Man. Right. Now, what happens after he becomes rich? Soon he became very rich. Then it is given, got impatient, wanted to become rich overnight. Okay. So, how will you add the points to this? You can say, like, but he got impatient and wanted to become rich overnight. He decided to kill his hen to get all the gold eggs in her stomach at once. So he took a knife and cut the hen's stomach. But what happened? When he killed the hen died and he found no egg. He was sad and regretted. He not only lost the hen but also the source of his income. His greed ruined him. So, children, the moral of the story is, do not be greedy. So, this is how we develop our story using the outlines that are given to us. You are free to use your own creativity. Your story can be different from mine. The name of your character can be different from mine, right? So, it depends on you how you write and develop. Story expansion 2 is also given on page number 75. You need to expand the outlines that are given to you and you need to develop an interesting story. It's about a hungry fox. This is also a very common story that we have been listening to since our childhood. So practice writing this. I'll also be attaching the Google Sheet wherein I'll give the ideas related to this story as well. You can take help from that and you can just create your own story. So kids, I'm very sure each one of you is through with how to write or how to develop a story from the given outline, right? Practice writing the second story and happy story writing to all of you. That's all for today. See you in the next class now. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.